Barry, it's the big one, the Betfred World Championship. It's just such an exciting time of year to be a snooker fan, isn't it?
Oh, I can't wait. I mean, the qualifiers, the qualifiers have been so exciting. What's the main event going to be like? I mean, if you enjoyed the hors d'oeuvre, the main course is going to drive you crazy. So it's a big time to be a snooker fan. It's a huge time to be a top snooker player. And I think for the 300 plus million live viewers around the world, they're in for a spectacle.
You've obviously been following snooker and been involved in the sport for getting on for 40 years. I mean, do you still get that bit of excitement, that bit of butterflies in the tummy on the first day of the World Championship?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got it in the first day of the qualifiers. 41 years now. Jesus. It's a long time. But no, I was watching round one, and you just try and put yourself in the position of the players, don't you? You know, this is their big chance, a chance to break through if you're a young up-and-coming player. You've got your opportunity now. It's a level playing field. But if you're an established star, you know, you don't want to give up the lifestyle you've got. You've got used to winning. You've got used to being on TV. Experience counts for a lot in these type of championships. But, you know, the Betfred World Championships is the biggest test of any player out there. Played over a proper, in the old school way of thinking, a proper duration, long distance games. It takes a very, very special player to play well at the Crucible, and we're going to have 32 very special players there come Saturday.
And of course we have changed the format for the qualifiers this year. I suppose some of them might say, I've had to play 3 matches, best of 19s, I'm knackered. Others might say, I'm match sharp, I'm confident, I've won 12 grand, and you're looking ahead to it.
I think they've all got to earn their money in the same way as everyone who goes to work has got to earn their money. You, me, everybody. Hasn't applied enough, to my mind, in snooker. But the changing qualifying system, I think, is a nice balance. You know, the top 16 have been rewarded. And by the way, they're top 16 because they're the 16 best players in the world. The system now is so fair, I think. And those 16 are rewarded for their efforts during the year by straight through to the Crucible. That's a big prize. But bear in mind that if they lose in their first round, their ranking prize money doesn't count because they haven't won a match in the tournament. So that's something to be careful of, because you want to stay in that top 16. For the other players to come through, the fact that there's been 128 players, the biggest field we've ever had, 144 players in the event, everyone's come in at round one. And is that unfair for someone that only used to play one game? It's tough. It's not unfair, but it's tough. But the overall system is fair for all players, and we have to look at that. I don't want to see any barriers to entry other than ability. And if the players are good enough to win, then they'll get through to the Crucible. And if they're not, they'll have a couple of weeks off with the rest of us watching it on TV.
And in terms of the big contenders for the title, I mean, the fascinating thing this season is no one's dominated. I think there's been 9 different players who've won 2 or more titles. So it's wide open, isn't it?
I think it's wide open. I mean, you know, people will mention the usual suspects. Obviously, Ronnie is Betfred's favourite to win the title. Mark Selby, bang back in form after winning the China Open. Judd Trump, what a season he's had with him and Ronnie contesting so many finals. Neil Robertson, tough as old boots from Australia and still one of the big front runners in the game. People like Stuart Bingham and Joe Perry, people that have gate crashed, if you like, the big prize money checks over the last couple of years. There's an awful lot of quality out there, I wouldn't like to say, but in the back of my mind, I'm still looking at a surprise somewhere. I think there's a surprise or 2 early doors and maybe one really big surprise for the eventual winner.
And in terms of the event overall, I mean, it's growing, isn't it? I think we've got something like 400 million people be watching it on TV. Yeah. We've got Betfred for 3 years, we're at the Crucible for 3 years, the BBC are supporting us. It's all building, isn't it?
The game's in very good shape at the moment, but we mustn't be complacent. You know, we're coming to the end of our first 5-year plan, and we're going to be announcing the Crucible our next 5-year plan, and it's going to be exciting. It'll be slightly controversial, and it will be very rewarding for those that win. And it'll be hard to get on that winner's rostrum. But then that's how successful sports are run, and snooker is right up there now in a very successful sport.
Thanks, Barry. We can't wait.
Thank you.